we are also simultaneously bringing light into all of the worlds through our consciousness. It's that important. And so what Western civilization does is it minimizes the importance of consciousness, and it maximizes man's physical prowess, etc., and gives him a very small place in the universe, from Copernicus down. So, but the Torah says, and Rabbi Kaplan said this so beautifully in his essay, A World of Love, and in his, he brings there about Psalm 8, where it says, Mipi, Olalim b'yomkin yesada ta'aret, yesada ta'oz, that what is man that you should even think of him, and yet you established power through the physical existence of a baby's brain, of a baby's mind. And Rabbi Kaplan says there, beautiful thing, he says, you think size is what's important by God? He says introspection, the ability to be conscious. And that is the marvel of a baby's brain, that there is the ability to be self-conscious. And that is what is important. And I'm not doing justice to it. He waxed poetic. He was an amazing soul. It's very amazing, beautiful that Jerry Ducey is here and used to learn with Rabbi Kaplan. I was just worthy a little bit, privileged to be with him a little bit. My wife was a little bit more with him. That before we got married, she learned with him, and then she introduced me to him. And then we got married, he came to our wedding, and he came to our Sheva Brachot. There was a Sheva Brachot that Itzik had made for us in a basement in Borough Park. Itzik was there with us the whole way, from the beginning to the end. He was a very special, special angel. And he made a Sheva Brachot where Shlomo came, Meir Fun came, and Aryeh Kaplan came, and they all spoke. And that tape is very precious to us.
Wow.
And perhaps we should digitalize it and make it.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, why didn't I think of that before?
Yes.
It's a private stash. So it was there that Aryeh Kaplan, Rabbi Fund said, I'll just go off a little bit of parentheses because it's like it really brings memories to me. Is that Rabbi Meir Fund said that Beit Shammai used to say about a bride, Kemot shehi. She is as she is. And Beit Hillel used to say, Kala na'a b'chasuda v'na. Kala na'a b'chasuda. Whatever the order is, she's a beautiful bride. Because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and our job is to make to help the Chatan to see how beautiful his wife is. But Beit Shammai was a little bit more well, it's not so pretty. So we won't say anything, right? So, come on. So he said that Beit Shammai is emet, because you got to be emet. You have to have truth. You can't lie. And Beit Hillel is shalom. It's peace. So peace is a much higher value than truth. We don't want to sacrifice truth for peace, but the better is the marriage between the two, is when you can be truthful and it brings greater peace into the world. And when you really are totally truthful with yourself and with other and with your beloved or with your friends, that is shalom. Right? Because we want to hear each other's truth. Titin emet li Yaakov, hakol kol Yaakov. The call of the shofar of every one of us is a call of truth of our being, the core of our being, speaking and articulating itself and wanting to express itself. There's no negativity there. If I had negativity against my father, my mother, my brother, or anybody else, when I get to the core of my being, I cry out, oh, it's because I was hurt. It's not because I wanted to hurt anybody. It's because I was hurt. And when we get to express that, then we get healed. So anyway, Rabbi Fun said all this, and Rabbi Kaplan started and said, well, it's interesting that Shammai is emet, and Hillel is Shalom, and the initials of the two words, Emet and Shalom, are Eish. And he gave a 40-minute thing about fire. It's the fire of Gehenna and the fire of Revelation. It was very, very dramatic. And he went into Ezekiel's vision of the chariot, of all things. And then, like So how many years later I was sitting in Jerusalem and I got a letter. Would you do a book that we have? We have transcripts of classes by Rabbi Kaplan. And what's the whole book about? Inner space. About Ezekiel's vision. Hello. Like nobody knew this. The person who gave me the book did not know that I had had that incredible, my wife and I had listened to the incredible thing. So Hashgacha Pratit was just like alive. And you saw God's hand. And for me that was one of the most incredible experiences of my life, doing a book by Rabbi Kaplan after he passed away. For 3 years it took me to do it. So, okay, that was a little parenthetical. Thank you so much for letting me reminisce. Yeah. And that's besides what Shlomo said. Okay.
Oh no. No. Bring it.
Shlomo knew both my wife and I both beforehand, and our first date was with Shlomo. My friend Tuvia Krevet was driving in his VW van. He was driving Shlomo from Manhattan to Brooklyn to teach a teach-in in Rabbi Fund, and I picked up my wife Esther, my wife-to-be Esther, in the Esplanade, and they picked us up and we sat in the back, and we went to the teach-in, and we had both known Shlomo. Shlomo was very happy that both of us were meeting. And on the way back, we went back and we stopped in the Lower East Side at a falafel place of an old Israeli woman. And the moment we walked into Shlomo, he smiled and he said, "Psst." And she said, "Chatan dekala" to me. And that was like the first time we were going out. But being with Shlomo, like, you know, the connections are like there. So, and he really did a miracle. It was in one of the Yortzeit books that I gave over the story to you, to Emunah Witt. And again, that's all I'm going to say about this now, but it was very special because after, I hope you don't mind, after my wife and I went out 4 times, the 4th time I took her to some very dear friends of mine, and she perceived them differently than I meant her to perceive them, and she was a little bit freaked out. That she thought, oh my God, that's what he wants from me. And she shut up. She shut down. And I saw this, and I said, well, if she doesn't like my friends, like, hello. So I drove her home in my friend's car, and it was quiet most of the time. And she got out of the car, and I said, good night. And she ran up and cried. And I went back feeling, well, we met. I met her. I met a very special lady. It was like, great. I'm on my way to Israel. This tells me this is not her. And it was just before Sukkot. It was Motzi Yom Kippur. Really, I didn't plan to do this, so please, if it's not...
No. Love it. Love.
So it's Motzi Yom Kippur. I meet my wife to be on our 4th date, and it doesn't go. It doesn't go. And it's a sign to me that it's not to happen. We were supposed to meet her family during Sukkot. So finally I called her on the first day of Chol Hamoed Sukkot, and I said, hi Esther. I just want to tell you that it was really special meeting you. But you know, like from the very first time we met, I told you I was on the way to Israel. And I had already been there for a year. And so, and whatever reaction she could have had, we spoke for another 15 minutes. And I remember that when I hung up the phone, I said, wow, she's really special. But I had basically closed it. So, Esther, forgive me for giving you this story. I don't ruin it. But, so, okay, so that was the end. But then Shlomo was teaching in Brooklyn on the night of Aaron HaKohen in the sukkah. And I went there. Sukkah. And there was a big tree over the sukkah. It wasn't whatever. So I wasn't going in, but in the intermission, when everybody was mulling around outside, I stuck my head in. I said, hi Shlomo. And he said, Avremela, you didn't come to me for Rosh Hashanah. You didn't come to me for Yom Kippur. You didn't come to me for Sukkot. You gotta come to me for Simchas Torah. Esther will be there.
Wow.
So I said, Wow, thank you so much. I'll call you tomorrow. So next morning I call Esther, and she answers, and I say, Esther, and she says, I said, are you davening? She says, I said, well, it's probably for the best. I just want to tell you one thing, and you can decide. I saw Shlomo last night, and he told me that you're going to be there, and if you want, we can sit together, and if you want, we can sit apart. She's in the middle of Hallel, and she had received, and she had 2 or 3 calls the 2 days before, and had not answered them because she wasn't able to answer. She thought it was me. It wasn't me. This was me. So she finishes davening Hallel. She calls Shlomo, and Shlomo says, Esther, you got to come to me for Simchas Torah. That is true story. True story. It's totally. And when we were walking after the davening and after the dancing, after the meal, and walking in the streets of Manhattan, and I'm saying to Esther, I really know what it's like now, why this is called Simchas Torah, is because if you just have a Torah of yourself and on your own, and you have an idea, no matter how good it is, it lasts as long as you have it. But if you give it to somebody else, it's eternal. And walking with her in the streets of Manhattan, it became clear that I wanted very much to marry, and we did. Okay. Thank you. So we have to sing a song now. The song is Ki Lishuatecha Kivinu Kol Hayom, because we want to stay back on this. And then we can even talk more about Chanukah, and we can talk about whatever anybody wants to talk about. I feel a oneness. I thank you so much. It's so special to be here. Please come to my home. Please come to Yerushalayim. Please know how important it is now, if you can, to come. And and to open our hearts to this incredible light that's coming down. Hashem's glory. And it's not just us, it's many people that the light is shining upon. And whenever we're doing what we're supposed to be doing with the light, they're doing it also. And the planet is becoming filled with light. It's not yet time, and we have to beg and plead that the time will come very soon, today, that the drama that Hashem is running here will not have to go to the end, because it's a difficult issue. We want to be able to live in your light. We want mankind to be lifted up and uplifted into your light. That's where it's all going. Please bring us there. Anybody who says that Hashem is punishing us and that whole mindset, there's no punishment going on now. This is just the reality of the world, and Hashem allows free will, but He wants each one of us to connect to the deepest level of our being, of the true love of life, the true appreciation of our lives, the true appreciation that every little thing that we do, every moment of our life is precious. That's what higher consciousness is. It's a total opposite of the darkness that's encroaching, that's suffocating certain people's minds. There's no way to figure out why that's being allowed to happen. We were told it would be happening. We were told that the last generation would be a generation of total chov and total zakai. Total those who are completely in the red and want to do evil. And at the same time, the Chavetz Chaim said this, the same time, you can't live in the middle anymore. That's basically what it was saying. It'll be this and this at the same time. Because this darkness will produce the necessity for being only in the light and nothing less. Ki